Yo, what's going on? This is Riding G. Welcome to my channel. So this is right before the election. I wanted to share some thoughts why I'm going to vote Republican. This will be my first time voting Republican in my life. Actually, this will only be my third time voting in my life, and that plays a large part of my decision. But considering the news cycle and what's going on with the so-called red wave and so forth, I'm going to share just some thoughts. This is not scripted. It's just a freestyle. The studio isn't even open on why, as a 40-year-old black man living in Georgia, why I'm going to vote Republican. And of course, there can be a lot of things said. I could talk about this for a long time, not because I'm an expert, but because there's a lot to be said. As a voter, as a member of society. But I just want to share just a few baseline ideas, or rather, just three, just off the top, to get the conversation going here on my channel. And one one reason why I'm going to vote Republican, why I'm going to vote for Brian Kemp and not Stacey Dash, why the ideological shift. Um, I've always leaned heavy conservative instinctively, even as a child. I've always leaned conservative. That was just my personality. And I was always surrounded by, as you would guess, a mentality and a paradigm that's to the total opposite. And what that experience was like for me growing up, of being surrounded by people, as my cousin once told me, that we kind of just inherited the view that comes from the Democratic Party, right? Of course, as kids, we're not voting, but from the adults around us, right? And then the media and society around them, we just inherit the ideas of the worldview that comes from leaning to the left, or to leaning towards the Democrats. And I noticed there was always a contradiction, and that impacted many decisions in my life. But I always instinctively felt the contradiction. And even as a kid, I had an instinct, right? I had an instinct of accountability. I had an instinct of believing in objective reality. And I always got a lot of pushback from people, very, very severe pushback from people, because of that instinct, because I was vocal about accountability and so forth. And this led me to now, and this is the first reason, right? I made an objective decision to go out and investigate and try to gain a better understanding of conservatism. And I'm still learning. But I was like, let me get past just the popular talk in the world. Let me get past Fox News. Let me get past any news organization for that matter. What do the people of knowledge say? What do the people who are, scholarly, where do the ideas actually come from and what they're based on? I said, let me go find those things out. And especially after being exposed to Thomas Sowell, which if you know who that is, then you understand how that can be an eye opener. So it made me say, I need now to go look and find the Conservatism 101, which I actually did find the course, Conservatism 101, online, and it was a little bit drawn out. But eventually I started to find the underlying principles. And the first thing that I'm going to list here is this belief in not only just objective reality and objectivity, but that there has to be a baseline objective reality. That life works based on a greater objective. And in my religion, personally, this is a huge fundamental part of my religion, right? That you have to believe that all of reality belongs to God, belongs to one God, one system, right? No matter how deep and how, integral it is, all the things beyond our understanding, nevertheless, it's all one system. It all belongs to one God. That's part of my religion. Now, I converted, changed religion 20 years ago, right? So reading up on conservatism and realizing that objective reality was a big part of it, I was like, well, I've always believed that. I've always felt that, right? And now, at present, in light of the tug of war, right? So you have the main factions, at least from where I stand in society, where you have the people on the right, you have the people on the left, and you have the people either caught or lost in the middle, right? So the people in the middle, from where I live, I don't know about other so-called independents or swing voters, whatever they call it. I'm talking about dudes in the hood, dudes in the barbershop, the dudes at the truck stop, the kind of guys I know, right? Especially the black guys. They're either caught in the middle or they're lost in the middle, because they're caught in the middle where they can't make a decision. They don't really know what to do about anything, right? Or they're lost in the middle where they don't even try to understand. They just give up. And after being around that for so long, I come to the conclusion that, it can't just be these type of ideas exclusively, right? Where, the left and everything they bring, right? Those who are lost or caught, where when you say, well, I'm thinking about, I like these ideas that's coming from over here on the right. I like what they say. I'm thinking about voting that way. And people have been trained and programmed a certain way. I'm not going to get deep into it. But one of the things they'll come and say, oh, well, what are they going to do for black people? Or, or as some of the people now are trending on Twitter, what tangibles are they going to give us? It's tangibles or nothing. Right? They just had a march for reparations and so forth. And the thing is like, I don't look at my world as existing in that simple frame, that the government has to give me something, that as if society operating isn't a lot already. And when I say that, I'm not being a bootlick, as people love to assert. This is a fact of reality. This is an objective reality. Here we are. Here I am now. Here you are. Time is moving. We're here. This is the hand we've been dealt. Right? This is what has been allotted to us by providence, as they say. This is what God decreed our lives to be. Right? So this idea that somebody owes you even more, and if they don't give you even more, then you're going to do nothing, while at the same time you're benefiting and utilizing what's already there. To me, it's kind of backwards. And you're not respecting and paying attention to what systems are already in place, that you already utilize, that you're already a part of, that you already need to understand and put into perspective and leverage for your life. So this idea that, well, they got to give me something when you don't care about what you already have, right? And it's cute to pretend like what you have isn't anything, except if you lost it, then you really know what it really is worth, right? It's cute to pretend like freedom of speech isn't worth anything, but if somebody took it from you, then I think you really understand what it's worth. It's cute to act like, the freedoms and the liberty and the prosperity that's all around us in America. It's cute to pretend like this isn't enough and like this isn't worth anything and I don't want to pay it no attention. That's cute until you lose it, until you don't have it, until you're locked up in a foreign country somewhere, or until you lose your freedom altogether, even locked up in America, or till you lose some privilege that you have, your health, your credentials, where you can't work anymore. I don't know. The point is, it's like, this is where I'm at. And any fool that can sit here and argue and tell me not to appreciate my space in reality, well, you fools aren't doing anything for me anyway. So it makes no sense for me to allow you to influence how I choose to live my little bit of life. It don't make no sense. Now, when I see conservatives saying things that agree with this mentality, this sentiment, freedom, free market, liberty, and go live your life. To me, that's a simple answer, right? Give me my freedom. Leave the market free so the people can prosper, so the people can use their creativity and their work to create prosperity and services and value for themselves and each other, and we can all share in it, and get out of my face. That, to me, is the answer. Not all these other wild conspiracies and all these long, drawn-out, big word-using, loudmouth dudes. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say their names. But I've tried their way of thinking, and it's silly. To me, it's exhausting. Like, listen, just give me mine and get out my way. To me, that makes sense. And that leads to the second point, which is I don't have time. Time is running out. I don't have a long life to waste on all your exotic ideas and theories and philosophies and so forth. And I'm a very philosophical person. However, I'm practical as well. That there isn't an infinite amount of time to argue and argue and argue over what's right, what's wrong, meaning what's profitable, what's beneficial, what's useless, and what's something we need to let go and not waste time on as a black person, right? In America. So you got all these guys on YouTube, you got all these guys that have all these ideas and all this eloquent speech and talking, and they know so many colorful ancient history, which is valuable, absolutely is valuable. But if you can't now take that and you get the brass tacks and translate that into some practical usefulness for right now on Monday, practical usefulness on Tuesday, so that Wednesday and Thursday and Friday are better, and do that every single week of the month and every month of the year until your life is a better thing, then it's a waste of energy. And what's crazy is that those people who talk with all these lofty, exotic, empty wind, or as they call them, empty suit guys talking all this stuff, while they're wasting so much energy talking and saying the things they say, they're still living and using the America that they refuse to just accept that they're a part of. They're still doing business. They're still having children. They're still raising families. They're still paying taxes. They still got their passport. They're still using their freedom of speech. They're still working in the free market. They're probably still packing firearms. They're doing all of these things, living an American life while pretending as though they don't want to live an American life. And it's like, come on, man. That's very immature and stupid and irresponsible, in my opinion. And those guys who would come and criticize, they would hear what I'm saying, and they would say, you're a sellout, you're a coon, and all of these things, that's fine. But the other thing is that you people not only are you not doing anything to help me and others like me, despite what you think, because some of them are thieves and some of them are shiesty hustlers, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. You're not doing anything for me, right? So why should I care? But in our community, a lot of us are emotionally blackmailed into making decisions and holding ideas that don't really serve us. Because to feel like, you know what, I'm not even gonna waste my energy with how you think and those things that you're saying, makes us feel like, oh, I'm being a sellout. Oh, I'm being I'm doing something wrong. And it's like, no, actually looking after my interests does not make me a sellout. I would be a sellout to look after your interests at my expense. And I've seen this scenario time and time again, and I'm old enough now, fortunately, to realize, you know what, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to waste time with none of the nonsense you're talking about. Like I said, give me liberty, give me freedom, give me guns, leave the free market open, keep the doors open, keep the business running. It's business, it's not personal. Not in 2020. Not in 2020, 2022, 2024, 2019 for that matter, or 2000, and so on and so forth, right? This is not 1932 any longer, okay? In these ages, where we're at now, after the millennium, just give me my space to live and just move out my way with all the rest of that stuff, right? And all your fake lying or whatever. Because I don't have time. Because black people love to go on and on and on with all of these, I don't want to be disrespectful, but these ideas that they believe are so absolute with regard to what they think being black means. Being black is not a principle in the universe, okay? If you jump off a building, gravity is going to get you. Gravity is still pushing you towards the earth. Being black is not going to allow you to then fly. So you need to incorporate and follow and leverage objective laws of reality, objective ways of being, accountability, knowing right from wrong, character, understanding leadership, understanding, goals and value and those things, and what I've noticed also, the language that people speak is so different. The language of people who get things done versus the language of people who always complain, or the language of people who got a shiesty ulterior motive. And when you see the language is so different, that's when I started to realize, you know what? I can't listen to y'all no more because y'all don't know what y'all talk about. But these people over here getting things done, right? And that's the last thing is that I believe my eyes. I can't believe the lies no more. I believe what I see with my eyes, what I hear with my ears, what I touch with my hands. I can't believe what the picture you trying to draw in your imagination to tell me I have to believe in. And if I don't believe it, then somehow I'm a wrongdoer, right? So in summary, including the third point, right? We have to have a baseline of reality. If we don't have a baseline reality that we judge by, that we measure by, right? Like the Freemasons, that we, measure and rule, and the tools that the carpenters use to make sure that the structure is built properly and effectively. If we don't have a baseline of reality that we're judging by, that's why people who complain consistently and who think everybody's supposed to give them something, that's why they really truly have no answers. And there is no end to their complaining. There is no end to the way they think because they don't understand reality. You can't say, don't be racist towards me while you're being racist towards others. Why? Not because it's a cute thing to say, it's because objective reality dictates that the Creator created all of us. And we all have the same rights, and we all have the same needs, and we all are built the same. And if one group or anybody violates the rights of another, that's the problem. It's not that person's color is the problem. It's the fact that they violated someone's human rights is the problem. That's one of the arguments of why they eventually abolished slavery, because it was hypocritical and contradictory to say that all men are created equal except these black men. So they had to change it. They had to free the black people. So now we're free. So now that we're free, we can't now turn around and say, now we're going to say white people are inherently racist. This is contradictory to objective reality. Any human can be racist. Any human can commit violations of others' rights. Okay? However, to make it a general principle that any group merely based on their skin color is inhuman and fundamentally a wrongdoer, that's wrong. That's the wrong basis of reality, and you can't get anything done like that. You can't construct anything with that way of looking at reality because that's not how reality works. Okay? And I'm tired of it, and I can't roll with that no more. Also, I can't waste time catering to people who want to think like that because they don't care to know. They don't care. All my people in my family, all my associates, everybody, the majority of whom, overwhelming majority, just don't care to grow, even though they see problems. And when you show them solutions, when you show them the problem and what the solution looks like and why, they don't care to make a move. They don't care to grow. They don't want to change it at this time. And it's like, all right, whatever, that's for you. However, time is running out. I don't have time to waste, right? And to them, it's like, oh, you're a sellout, this, and the third. It's like, no, you don't understand that, one party and their plans and their ideology and the decisions they like to make aren't constructive, in my opinion, right? And time is running out. Therefore, hey, maybe I'm wrong, but I got to make a decision. I can't waste time twiddling my thumbs, humming and hawing, being indecisive. According to what I know at the moment, I'm going to make a decision, and that's what it is. I think that this group pays more attention to principles that I think work fundamentally better. They've been working. I can't sit here and pretend like the country don't work. I've been here my whole life. So this idea that, oh, how could you vote for somebody? Well, I live here. I'm an American. I got a passport. I pay taxes. I got children. Why not? But you're going to just choose nothing? Or you're going to just choose based on emotions? Or you're going to choose based on some type of objectivity? And I can't waste time. And lastly, like I said, my eyes tell me. My life from what I experience. I can't sit here and listen to somebody tell me, right, to hate white people, or how could you vote Republican? They're white, they're racist. Or, like I'm from down south. Oh, this is the dirty south where all the racist people at. When my whole entire life living, doing business with, mixing and mingling with, dealing with white people, this is not the reality that they show me with their actions. So why should I believe somebody else's rhetoric versus the reality I've experienced? And if I choose your rhetoric and I get nothing, versus if I choose my experience and I deal with these people right? Meaning, I believe I give people the benefit of the doubt when they say I'm just a regular guy like you, right? And I'm working just like you. We want to do some business. Let's do some business. You want to hang out and have a coffee because I don't drink beer. It's not about hanging out socially. What I'm saying is that if I've seen and witnessed from my own eyes the manhood and humanity from my fellow Americans, I can't now deny that because you other immature land brand people refuse to grow up. I can't do it. It doesn't work. Hasn't served me well. It doesn't serve anybody else well because it's not teaching humans how to operate maturely. It's not teaching black men how to extrapolate all of the benefits and prosperity from America that they already have and can take it even further. That's the crazy part. You would ask most black men, well, not even black men, a lot of the women and the sucker men, in my opinion, soy boys, right? Or guys who are confused, or guys who just, caught in the middle. They'll sit here and pretend as though if I said, well, take advantage of your American prosperity, your American privilege. What privilege? What prosperity? It's like fool, I see your house right there. You're living great. You got a house, you got 3 cars, 2 motorcycles, and a freaking 80-foot screen TV. What the frick else? Oh, you think because you're not a billionaire? Guess what? Maybe you're not smart enough to be a billionaire. Right? There are other black billionaires. Maybe you're not smart enough to be a billionaire, but people don't want to understand that. But that's objective reality. That's, and of course, like I said, these are some of the fundamental principles of conservatism, objectivity, hierarchy, permanism, and so on and so forth. So, in light of those things, and I looked around, I said, you know what? I'm going to vote Republican. Yep. I'm going to vote Republican because I don't like the people who make it so that I have to argue about reality with my children because they want to raise my children. And that's just one issue. There's many other issues. But this is just a video off the top of my head I just felt like putting online. If you watched and made it this far, thank you. See you next time. Peace.